how we can work with folders in a particular directory. How to check whether, like, in which location the folder is going to store. How did we write that code? Which location our folder will be stored? What is the syntax that we used?
We use string.
String equal to path name.
No. How did we check? How did we, like, which location that particular folder should be created? So what syntax that we used?
Slashes.
Check your
We
code.
need to mention the drive name.
It is, what is the syntax? System dot check your code. System dot. I given the hint. System dot. You have not used any system dot yesterday.
No, we know. Just we have given it in the main method, right? We have hard coded it in the main method.
I did not save it. Okay. So okay. So which location? It is system dot.
Maybe
Okay.
you have to use set property. So
That's okay. Mhm. All right. So today we'll talk. Can everybody see the screen?
Yes, we
yes, we know.
Okay. Now, likewise, we have created folders, right? So today we'll see how to create a files. Okay, how we'll work with files today. So when I say file, it will be simplest form of file where we can save the one line or two lines of data when our script is executing. Okay, so what is the use of a file? Generally, what we do is whenever we run any script, right? Uh, so there might be some kind of a requirement where you need to save some data to the files, some data or some credentials to the files. So there might be many requirements where you need to store. May not be the huge data. We may not be. It's going to be a huge data, but you will be using those files in the real time. So text files. So most of the time, what we do is we use text files because they are very lightweight document, which will be uh, used to create the files, and we're going to store required data in that files. Okay, right. So it depends on the requirement. Okay, and due to some validations, if you want to perform check the username and passwords of a particular application. or in the middle of the script, you wanted to pass any value from the notepad. There might be many requirements. How we're going to work with the automation, right? So that is where we are learning. We are learning all the different ways of automation, and then depends on the requirement, you have to use it. Okay, so whenever you have automation requirement, example, you want to perform how many links are there, you have to use the different way of automation. You have to check a particular text is available on the page. You have to use different way of automation. Like, it depends on the requirement. You're going to use a different you know uh, automation techniques that we learned so far. Okay, now right. So now uh, let's create a file, and right. So how do we learn? It is a very simple an automation of creating those files, right? So right. So let's create a method. So how should I create a method outside of the main? Yesterday we did it, right? Public
Yes, static
static
void
void,
enum.
right? I'm going to rename create new file. Okay. I'm going to use this one. Okay, I've just created a new file method, and yeah, so it depends on what is coming, what are the method implementation, right? So that should be your arguments that should come here, right? Now we are dealing with files, so always we're gonna use the file class f equal to new file, and it takes an argument. What argument it is? Whenever you call from the main method, right? So you pass some arguments to it. That should be the file path. So I'll declare file path. This, right? And the same, I'm going to pass it here. Yeah, why it is throwing in a error? You need to
Import the
Why?
you need
Java
to
util.
yeah, you need to
The util
import the package to your
Java.
right to your local machine. Now you have imported IO. The file comes under input output stream, right? Now it is taking a path, file path as a argument, right? Now before always, whenever you create something, you need to check whether that particular file exists or not, because you should have a name, right? Without having a name, you cannot create a file. Anyway, if you want to create manually, you should know the file name, and you should check whether that file name exists or not. Correct? How should I check? How should I check if the file name exists or not? I will use
If
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 condition.
condition
Simple. It's always it's
If
simple as that.
condition.
It's if condition.
f
Let
dot
right.
exist.
So what I'm going to use it. Uh, I can do many ways. I can do f dot exist, and inside that you can create a file. Okay. So I have another method, create new file, right? And it is throwing an
throws.
exception, IO exception. Okay. No, what it returns, what it returns.
Creates a file.
It
It
creates
creates
a
a
a new
files, right?
file.
yes.
If it creates a file, it means that it's a true condition. Correct?
Google. Yeah.
Sorry, it should be coming inside. File created successfully.
If condition
Okay.
gone.
If if condition it is missing.
Oh, sorry. Where it is. I did press anything. Right. Okay. File created successfully. Else, okay. It is a very simple statement. Okay. So now I have used file path access condition. Okay. Now I have to pass the have to invoke that method, right?
Yeah,
So now
create
invoking
new
a method,
Ye-
create new
Create
file,
new file.
new
Created.
file, right? I'm going to put it here, right? What I have to pass now? I have to pass name of the file, right? What name I'm going to create? That name I have to pass it as an argument.
Yes.
Sorry. Now, okay. So what is my path? I'm coming here in E drive. I want to create a inside my, let's say I'm going to create one test. Okay, this is my path. I'll put it here and sample.txt. Okay, why it is throwing error?
Can we
Why it
create
is throwing error?
directly, string we need to
String.
we need to create in a variable.
So if it is throwing an error, right, place the pointer on that. It's saying add throws exception, nothing else.
Okay.
Okay, so check what it is throwing error. In our case, it was showing that there might be an exception where you don't find this file or file may not be creating. It's saying you have to add that exception to your script. Okay. Now all good. So
Vinod,
yeah.
in system dot out dot println, same message will printed. File
Yes,
created
sir.
successful.
Oh, file
Not created.
not created. Okay. Okay. Thank you. So, okay. Now all good. Let's run this one. File created successfully. Let's go here. Let me close all these things. Can you see here? Sample text file is created,
Yes.
right? Sample text file is created. So this is the is a way of creating a text file, not the other files. So, so there is a separate automation scripting for other files creation and playing around with the other files. Okay. Now we created. Now we created how to. Now we know how to create the file now. Okay. What is the method? It is simple file dot create new file. And what kind of file it is? Template file you're creating. Okay. Now let's write some data to it. Okay. Now we have done the. I'll put it the name of the file. Okay. Now let's write public static void, right? Okay. I've created a method now, which is of right. I'm just created a method. Okay. Now we know in order to write the data into the file, right? We should use a new class called file writer. Okay. File writer. FR is equal to new file writer, open and close brackets, and it will take an argument obviously. So we should tell, right, where is the file that this file writer should write. So we need to pass as an argument. Now always it is a path. Okay, the same thing we're going to pass it here. If it is throwing an error, we'll try to add exception. Okay. Now I'm good to use the variable reference variable fr. It will be having a lot of methods in it, which comes under file writer class. Okay. Fr. So what are we doing here? We are going to write the data, right? So there is a method which will take the data, right? The sample test data. So this is how I'm going to write the data into my text file. Always, whenever you complete writing the data, you should close the file without fail. Okay. So,
The right class which we have initiated, it will
Mm.
like in defaultly it will open the file, or we need to write something for the opening of.
nothing required. Nothing required.
Okay.
Nothing required. So just the file writer will take care of it, and whatever we pass it in the main method, that should do actually. Okay. And let's write some file return successful. Looks good. File writer, file path, file write. Okay. Now let's call that method. What is it method we have written? Write data. Okay. Come back here. Write data. I'll pass the same. Save it. I'll remove this one. I'll remove this one. Save file. Or I can do string file name. I'll instead of passing this every time, I can do it this way, and I can pass that. Now it looks simple. Okay,
The path.
let's.
Backslashes ring extra
Yeah,
file name.
right, but that's okay. That will not have any problem. Let's run this one and see. File not created successfully. Why it is not created successfully?
Big.
It's already is there, right?
It's already there, right? It's already
Yes.
there. The first script already ran that file. It has created it. Let's delete this one. Okay. We'll come back and let's come back to the script. First one is not created. File returned successfully. Let's run this again. Yeah, file created successfully. File returned successfully. Let's go and check whether my data is available or not. have this there. Okay. So it is printing in the same line. See here, this is a different set of data. This is different set of data, but it's printing in the same line. Okay. So for that, what we do is let's close this one. Don't save. I'll come back to script. Where is my write method? Okay. Now I'll do a small thing. Plus, and I'll put double quotes slash n and save it. Let me delete the file again, and I'll come back and run the script. File created successfully. Open that script. Yes, here you go. Yep. And this is how you're going to wait again. See this. You're not going to use a lengthy, long sentences in your automation. It's all small values you're going to write, and you can use this write method. Okay, n number of write methods. Right. So there is no restrictions at all. That depends on your requirement. Right. So if you run this,
it's mandatory to write fr dot close.
yes, you have to write it. Otherwise, what happens? The file will be open. So most of the time, again, it will be stuck in the heap memory. So especially Excel is very dangerous. Notepad is fine. Whenever you deal with Excel sheet, you should always close it and always do not run. Now, example in Excel's right. In Excel reading and writing, you keep this data file open and you are calling that particular file into your script and doing some manipulation. Now this file will get corrupted. Again, you have to rename. Again, you have to close that complete Excel file. Sometimes you have to restart the laptop, restart the Eclipse. So it is going to be a big headache when you deal with no Excel sheet. But yeah, that's for Notepad is to an extent fine, but it's always good practice. Always write close.
Okay.
Okay, and write close method and also close the file you're working with. That is very important. Okay, let me rerun it again. Written successfully. I'll go here. Okay, I've not mentioned that next line. Let me copy this one. Yeah, 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 and save it. I'll run this again successfully. Yeah, this is how it is. Okay, so now we understand how to create a file. Correct? It's a very simple method with the help of file class and with the help of dot create new file method, you can create. You can always check if that particular file exists or not. Then you put it this thing inside your if condition. You can do many things, but this is the basic way of writing a script to create a file. And with the help of file writer, so it is a IO input and output stream, where file writer helps us to write the data into your file. Okay. So any doubts in what we discussed in two areas, two things, how to create a file, how to write a file, write the data into the file.
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
Yeah, good. Now we have created a file. We have written a file. Uh, let's read the file. The most of the time, that it void read file. Most of the time in the real time, right? You do reading and writing. Majority of the time you read the file. But again, I don't want to rule out anything. You can also, create and you can also, uh, write the data. That depends on the requirement. But most of the time I was using, most of the time I was just writing the data and then temporarily inside, let's say if you have uh, a 15 minutes of script running, that's a lengthy script. It will go to different database. It will connect to different web pages. To come back, close the browser, again go to the database, write the data, again come back. So there will be lengthy scripting, right? So in that cases, whenever you want to store some small values, it might be anything. We use this sample dot text files, read and write methods. While writing the data, we should always tell in the interview file writer class. We use file writer class for writing the data into the txt file. What method we use? Write method. Simple. Okay. Now let's say there is already a file existing and we need to read the data. Okay. Now this is my file. I don't know. See, your program, your scripting should always a futuristic, right? It should not work. If I have only one row, it should work. Or tomorrow, if multiple rows are added, right? Your script should accommodate whatever number of lines are there in it. Okay. So your script should accommodate all the future values coming into the text file. Right. So first thing you need to understand, right, where is this file located? Obviously, that will come as a this one path. Now we get the path, right? Now we know where is that file stored, and based on the location, you're going to read the file. First step. Yeah. We located the file. What is the next step? We have to load the file into a certain class that will start reading this text. So we have a new class that I'm going to tell you. We use that class and we'll pass that file name into that class. And that class provides few methods which will help us to read the text files. Now you have to validate. Now this is the first line. So your script should check after reading the first line, is there any data available in the second line? If there is any data available in the second line, once it is completed, it should check whether is there any data available in the third line. Vice versa, if there is no data available after certain point of time, right, your script should stop. The program you should write in that way. Okay, so you have to use the looping condition to check whether is there any next line into your notepad. Okay, now I'm going to, we know I need to create a file first, always, and I'll be passing this file into my argument. Now we know this step. For every file reading, we have to use this line, file class, right? So there is a new uh, class which will help us in this situation, which is scanner class. The scanner class, whenever you there, it helps in two ways. One, whenever you want to accept any value from the keyboard, whenever you want to accept any value from the user, system.in. So if you use this, right, let me add the details. Yeah, if you use this one, it says system.in. It will wait. It will wait for the prompt where user should enter certain value. So, right, but in this case, we are not accepting any value from the keyboard, not from the user. But what are we doing? We are trying to read the file, right? Where is the path? This is the path, and it is loaded into the reference variable. F. So all I need to do is just I'll pass the parameter and add the exception to your script. Okay. Now I have loaded into the scanner class. So scanner class provides few methods. Now, right. So what I'm doing to I'm going to use the loop and check whether there are any lines exist. And based on the lines exist, I'll keep on reading the file. Now what is that? I'll use the while condition. SC is my variable, and I'll see every time I'll see whether there is a line exist or not. So I'm going to use as next is pattern, as next is string. Yeah, this is the one. Has next line should be there, right? Dot has next. Where is the input line? Okay, has next long as line. Yeah. So this till this while loop is true, it keep on entering into the it keep on rotating the loop. Whenever this is false, it will come out of this while loop. So when it is false, it means there is no line exist after this. It might whatever it might be. It might be after this line, right? It might be anywhere. So whenever it finds any empty line, there is nothing after particular line, then it will stop reading it. But what if this is true? What if this is true? Okay. We have to get the text, correct? If this is true, we have to read this line. Now, obviously, that's in the form of string. Then what I'll do is I'll data file is equal to my scanner class is this reference variable sc, and I have this data. So what I'll do is I'll use this next line method to get the data and store it into the data file. This condition it clearly says has next line, then enter into it. Then this will pick up that particular line, store it into the data file, and I'll use this one data from the file and plus symbol and plus this one. Yep. Okay, looks good. Scanner class now taken the file path, passed on to the scanner. I'm checking whether is there any line. If it is true, it enters here. It picks up the line, store into data, and I'm printing that here. All right. Now let me call that. What is the name of the method? I'll call that here. And what is the file name I should pass? This is a file name, right? Right. Then let me delete that part. How many lines of data I'm writing here? Okay, this many lines. Okay. All right. So let's run this one. Yeah. Here we go. File created successfully. File returned successfully. And data from the file. Sample data 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why there is no data after this? Because in that notepad, start keep changes, keep all, keep one, keep changes. Okay. Right. So this is the data, and after this particular line, it got terminated. The while loop got terminated. Why?
Because
There is no data after that
Yeah,
line.
while loop has the moment it says false, it will come out of the particular loop. So till the time it is true, it keeps on getting the data. Okay, it is very simple to understand, but just you need to remember these methods. Scanner class has next line. Okay, so what to do when we read the file, what to do when we write the file, what to do when we create the file. These are the more the important feature that you need to remember and use that particular methods. So you should be aware of what method exactly is used. That comes with your practice and experience. Okay. Any doubts at the creation of the file?
Vinod,
No,
is the pattern same for Excel and other files as well?
No, Excel is different. Now, this that's what I mentioned. Excel is different. See,
Scanner
it is
classes.
it is different in a sense. It is the concept is same. You have to first, with the help of certain classes, you should first locate the file. Then you will load the file. You will. The concept is different, same, but the methods what we have for the Excel, it is differently given by the different jars which is there in the market. So we will use that in tomorrow
Okay.
sessions.
Yeah.
Okay, but the concept is the same. You have to first locate the file. You should pass the location of the file. Then for the Excel reading and writing, we have a separate class files, separate classes, separate methods. Okay, but it is almost similar at a concept wise, almost similar, but different way of writing the code.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so we have done creating a file. We have done writing the file, reading the file. Okay, let's rename the file. Okay, public static void rename file. Can someone try? When you are here, Vinod, why should we try? Why you can do everything? Why should we take risk? Is it right?
No, not like that. Not.
You can try always. So I'll try to correct. You try it out from your side. Yesterday we have done for the folder, right?
Yes.
So always for folder, what we have taken
old
old
file.
file path
Documents, old
and
file path,
new
New
file
file.
file path. Correct? 2 parameters, obviously. Correct.
Yes.
Right? So far we good. No errors found. Now we are taking 2 parameters as an arguments. You have to pass that in your file.
Yes.
So what I'll do, obviously, I have to create a file class. Correct?
File. Old file
Right?
path.
Old file
Old
is
file
equal to
path.
new
New
file.
file of
File.
that
Old
parameter.
file path. Correct?
Yes.
Right? This is your old file path. You are loading it, and I'll have to do similar for the new file path.
New file.
New. This is file path. Right? Let me save us. No error so far. So far, so good. Now, what is that I need to do? I need to
Check
need to
if condition.
right.
If condition.
So see, you should. So when we are in initial steps, right? So we write in a detailed scripting, but when you become proficient in writing, right? So few things you will combine right in one statement, right? So that's what we did. Example, this one, right? Uh, where did we check? So instead of writing if condition separately, what we do is I can write in everything in one if condition. I'm checking. This is my old file name dot rename to new file name. I'm instead of checking it, right? I'm directly writing my if condition like this. Can I write like this?
Yes.
Can I
Yes.
dot exist? Can I write like this?
Yes.
I can also
It is
write
a
like this, right?
lengthy.
Yes.
Yeah, it
Yes,
is.
sir.
It will become little bit lengthy. That's it.
Lengthy.
No other. Right. Right now, what is the method? Rename to right. The file
New file.
name.
New file.
Right. And I'm writing in one go. If this is true, what do you mean by this?
For
If
the
this is true,
renamed success.
right,
File.
it is renamed. See, Tulsi already know the script, but she's not telling.
Oh,
Okay. File renamed
Successfully.
successfully. Else, so else what it is?
Cannot be
Else
removed.
simple, right? File
File not.
File.
like let me write this one.
Failed.
Okay.
Yes.
File rename failed. All good now?
Yeah,
All good?
to call it main
Yes, sir.
method.
Yes, sir.
What should I do now? Yeah. Can someone tell me?
Yeah, we need to pass the file name.
File name.
File.
This is my old file name.
Yes.
Yes.
And new.
Where is the new file name?
We need to create a variable for that.
Right. Excellent. We need to create a new
New file name.
file
File
name
path.
is equal to, right? I'll just create similar one like we did in the
Right.
New file name we need to pass.
pass it here. Simple.
Yes.
But let us delete that file. Okay. Now, step 1, it will create the file. Step 2, the data will be written. Step 3, we'll print on the console. Step 4, we'll rename the file. All good?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes. When.
Let's clear this and let's see whether whatever script you have written, it is working fine or not.
File.
File name failed. Why it is failed?
We haven't closed the file.
Okay. We haven't closed here as well, reading the file. Here also we are not closed. Okay, file dot. It is not allowing Where is the issue? SC class SC dot close. And where is my file? We are not opening any file here. Let's see. Is that the issue? Yeah, it is renamed successfully. Okay, I'll go here. But ideally, it should say that file created failed. Correct? Because we have not deleted the file, right? See, it is renamed Selenium. Let's delete that one and run a fresh. Okay. Now, step 1 created successfully. Step 2 written successfully. It picked up the data from all the source, like from all the data from the notepad. File rename is also successful. Now, what is the rename? This is the rename. Okay. So, any doubts in how to rename? I think it is very simple to understand, but let me know if you have any doubts in this area.
Clear, Vinod.
Others?
No, Vinod.
Clear, Vinod.
Okay. So, what we have done, we have created the file and we have written the data,
The data, read the data.
Read the
read the
data.
data,
The data and rename
Rename
the
the
rename the file name.
File.
file.
Correct. We have all done. You wanted to make a note of it, or should I paste it in the text in the chatting?
Can you paste in the chat? Vinod? If you write means it will take
Yes,
time.
Okay. Okay. So we'll write one more method. Let's delete the file. Okay. Deleting is always easy, right?
Yes, Vinod.
Okay. I need to pass the file path. Now, what should I do? I've
You
created
need to create the
file,
file.
file, and pass the argument file path. See, I'm typing fast so that you already know this step, right? Hope it is not confusing.
Yes, Vinod.
Yes,
Let me know
yes.
if I should go slow, because I now I think compared to other days, you are a little bit more proficient because you are doing all practice and all. That's where I'm going a little bit faster. Let me know if I should go slow. Okay. Right. I can write the if condition, right? Now, if I dot exist, I can delete the file, or I can directly what am I? Delete the file.
Delete.
Okay. What I'll do, will copy this one and put it inside. But I have to file deleted successfully. And if I want to know what file F,
Yes.
click, and I'll write if condition lsc else file right. Correct. File deleted successfully. File failed to delete. Now I need to
All the method.
delete file. Is that the method?
Yes.
which file we should delete? The new file, right?
Yes, ma'am.
New
Correct.
file.
Is that the file name correct? Oh, the small f.
Delete.
Small one.
Okay. Now, what it will do, it will create the file sample. It write the data. It will read the file print on the console. It will rename with Selenium. Let's put another name, Java, and it will delete the file Java. Okay. Ideally, that folder should not have this file, correct? Java file. And let me run the script. Created, written, data copied on the console, renamed, and this is a file that has deleted. If I go and check in the, uh, if I go and check in the folder, right? So I should not find this one. Eat, right? Is there any Java.txt? No, right?
No, we know.
No.
But if I comment this one and what will happen if I comment this method? Someone tell me.
You cannot delete.
File
It
not
will
delete.
rename it with the
File
Java.
What
not
file name?
delete. File rename.
What file name
change.
will be there?
Java.txt.
Java.txt. Okay, let's run this one. In the test, this is the java.txt, right?
Yes.
And if I uncomment this one, now should be deleting it. It clearly also specifies what file name we are deleting it. And now let's put this file deleted dot get name. So on this one, it only gives the name of the file. You can see here.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
we know.
The get name will only give you the name of the file. Earlier, it was giving the complete path. Correct. You observe? Earlier, it was giving the complete path,
Path.
right? Earlier, it was giving complete path, but now it is giving the only the file name. Okay. And if I remove this get name, it was giving the, see here, right? Any doubts in this methods? So we have covered creating, writing, reading the data, renaming the file, and editing the file.
Clear, Vinod.
Right. So just copy this one and put it in the where is chatting. Yeah. Okay. So tomorrow 9 to 11 is fine. Everyone.
Yes, Vinod.
Yes, Vinod.
9 to 11. All right. So yeah. So we'll meet up tomorrow and we'll cover another important file related stuff. So we'll have 2 hour session tomorrow. Okay.
In text, full code is not came, I think, in charting.
Oh, okay. But we have copied. Oh, it is okay. Only method has been copied. So that's fine. I should have done double click this guy. Complete class. Yes. Can you check everyone? We got the code.
Yes, Vinod.
Yes, Vinod.